mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to Mama Betty Jones for that one.
So guys, as we all know, I feel like, we're all living in the age of social media. And one of the things that's kind of changed society because of that is how we deal with conflict, how we interact with each other. It's become popularized that people do things like ghosting each other, or like thinking, you know what, this person doesn't have the value in my life. When you suddenly just decide to just cut someone off and just never speak to them again, right? I think we all do it, but I also think that it's kind of been a detriment to us socially because it's kind of stopped us from learning how to speak to each other a little bit in a sense, or work things out. And it doesn't have to be like relationships. I mean, I'm talking about friendships too, because nowadays, we live in a time where you can see your friends from high school, college, whatever, whenever, friends in the league, and like you can check up on them without actually checking in on them, without actually seeing them.
Is everybody deserving of an explanation as to why, you know what I'm saying?
I think there's people in your life who, because I have a friend who's really, really good. Like, I'll be driving on the road and I get a call. Yo, what's up, man? Hey, man, I'm just going down the list of people I haven't checked in on in a while. You're up. How you doing? And I'm like, dang, that's just so, there's something so heartwarming. Just knowing that someone is going out of their way to think of you. And to just like check in on you and see how you're doing. Those are people who really are value adds to your life. They don't have to be in your physical space, but everyone needs to feel like they're being thought of, or if there's an issue between people, like, then everyone wants the chance to be understood.
Devil's advocate here. What about the karma of the person being ghosted? Depending on what they've done, depending to the person that ghosted them. My mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Cheers to Mama Betty Jones for that one. But, certain people, they earn the right to be ghosted based off of their behavior. There's two sides to every story, and I definitely think the more mature, reasonable thing to do would to be to reach out and explain and have a conversation. But, if depending on what that person does, it can either be seen as just a one-time thing, or where they just, made a mistake, or it could be a character thing. And if it's a character thing and you only can know that personally, then you know that it's not right, and it's not worth the conversation. It's, hey, you know what? You're not healthy for me, and I'm not going to be healthy for you, knowing that that's a part of your character. So it's best for us to go our separate ways quietly and move on. Because I've ghosted people multiple times because I felt like they wouldn't even acknowledge what they had done. So, for me to have to explain to you what you've done, knowing that you know what you did.
You said, I ghosted them knowing that they know what they did, and my response would be, well, how do you know that they know, right?
I'm talking about the cases that you know the person well enough to have a good idea that they know what they've done. It's subjective. You have your perspective that definitely makes sense. And then I have my perspective that makes sense. And people have experiences that speak to your truth, and people have experiences that speak to my truth. So, we can go back and forth and question it all day, but at the end of the day, it's about you and your comfort level. If you're comfortable and you feel like that relationship is worth working out and having a conversation, do it. If you don't feel like it is, based off of how you feel about the person or what they did, then that's not a flaw or, a stain on you either.
It's just a choice.
One of the things that we've done great on Johnson is we've showed, especially as black men, how we fight through and communicate, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people like to say there's family, but if you only have hills and you don't have no valleys, you're acquaintances, you're not family. Family, you're gonna have hills and you're gonna have valleys. And I think on Johnson, we've showed how you navigate through that. And it's not always quick or easy, but there's a process. And I think we do that well.
Some people say ghosting is a form of communication. It's like, you know exactly how I feel, because I ain't called you back. You called like 4 times, stop calling me. But I mean, hey, to each his own. I understand not wanting to give somebody more energy than you feel like they're deserving of. And I also understand how important conflict resolution is, to have a conversation with somebody who you feel is worth it, to try to get past something. Everybody is not worth throwing away. Only you know what you've gone through with that person, your experiences, how you feel when they're not in your life versus in your life. And so that's where we're at. And I think times are changing. we have to adapt to the times, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I feel like ghosting is here to stay. It ain't going nowhere.
Ghosting is not going anywhere. And I'm just happy that I have experienced both sides of that.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't grow up in the social media age. None of us did.
Yeah.
And so just, you know, being someone that's growing up in this era and this is all they know, and they don't know that you can have a conversation with someone
and fix something
and fix it, you know, without making a statement about blocking them or restricting them or unfollowing them. It's still weird for me to see couples break up over Instagram, to see, you know, post on social media, whether it's a gossip blog where they're like, you know, we see that such and such unfollowed. So it's like, it's so weird to me because it's like, it's such a trivial way to potentially say that's the end of a relationship by pushing a button.
But it matters so much to people.
It does. No, I mean, it is. It's everything.
It's life.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything now. Social media is that influential. So we've taken this conversation from, you know, on the ground to social media, but social media is here to stay, and it's something that we got to deal with. So if you get unfollowed, more than likely, you probably got ghosted.
I will unblock you when we leave today, okay?
Cheers to
That's
that.
all. Cheers to that.
It.
Yes.
Cheers to Darius getting unblocked.
We get into these topics and many more every week on Johnson.
And go to bouncetv.com/find us to learn how to watch Bounce in your area.
We live tweet every episode Saturday nights at 8 p.m. 7 Central.
And weekly new episodes will be added to the Brown Sugar app for you to catch up.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Let's go.
Shine.